හරි විනීත. මොකද්ද භාවනා?
අද උදේ ලොකම් කිව්වා දෙකමාරට අර භාවනා කරන ගායට එන්න මම පොඩි බණ කියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මම කිව්වා ඒක අමාරුයි ඒක
බැගේ.
දැන් දෙපාරක් මට ටිකක් අමාරු වැඩි. ඉතින් කොට ලොකම් කිව්වා භාවනා ගැන කතාව 5ට කියනවා.
හොඳයි. සුනීත ඉන්නවද?
ඔව්.
සුනීතට කියන්නේ මේ පැත්තේ නීවරණ අර පැත්තේ ඉන්ද්‍රිය. ඔය ටික මතක.
So today Lokka Hamdu wants to talk a little bit about practice. Yes, Lokka Hamdu, he'll ask Sunita, Venerable Sunita to write on the one side the hindrances and on the other side the spiritual faculties.
නීවරණ මේ පැත්තේ වෙන.
So on the left we have the hindrances, sensual liking, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt. On the right there will be the spiritual faculties of faith or confidence. Virya is mental energy or mental effort or energy. Then sati, samadhi and panya, that is let's say mindfulness, concentration and wisdom or experiential understanding.
එතකොට මේ කාමච්ඡන්දේ භාවනා කිය මම තාම භාවනා කියන්නේ ඔය කට්ටියගේ ඒ
භාවනා මම කොහොම හරි පුහුණු වීමක් කියනවා ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එක.
ඔව් අර මිනිස්සු භාවනා කියන්නේ කියනවා මම කියන්නේ.
So anyway, Lokam first started off saying in Sinhala the word bhavana is used as a general term that can be translated something like meditation. But because this word is coming from Pali, Lokam does not like to use it. So he usually just calls it practice or preliminary.
මේ භාවනා කියන එක මේ නින්දකින් ඉන්නේ කන්නේ මේ පෙරපෙරවරුවේ අවදිමත් සිතක්.
So whether it is bhavana kind of a level of meditation or even just normal meditation practice, it's not about sleeping. It's not like sleepy kind of mind. The mind is very much alert, wake up and opened. And in that state, whatever comes, be it through eye, ear or whatnot, that anything that comes up is noted. So you know, you can understand yourself, it is a very kind of like wake up or alert mind.
අවදිමත් සිතක් නැත්තම් මේ නිකන් ඔය අඩ නින්දක ඉඳලා සමාධි කියලා කියනවා.
So but some people call samadhi or kind of like concentration, they think meditation is about that in a kind of it's like almost like daydreaming state.
දැන් ඉතින් අපි මේ අවදිමත්ව සිතේ යථා තත්ත්වයේ මේ සිතයි සිතවිලි හඳුනගෙන ජීවත් වෙන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න.
So what we train is alert. With the alert kind of mind, we go to train to recognize as it is the states of the mind and the different mind concomitants. If that is not happening, then it is a kind of wasteful effort. So the first of the hindrances that are written on the left once again, hindrances or nivaranas, first of them is called kamachanda.
කාමච්ඡන්දය කියන්නේ ඉතින් මේ ඔය ඉඩකඩම් දූ දරුවෝ නිල මුදල් ඒවම තමයි හිත නිතරම භාවනාවට කියලා ඇවිල්ලා ඒක කෙනෙක් එහෙම තියෙනකොට මේ කාමච්ඡන්දේ තියෙනකොට හිත එකගතයක් නැහැ.
So now let's say somebody comes to practice, and while trying to practice gets all the time ideas about his own house and like wife or husband, kids or parents, his work, his maybe car, and these things, and because of those thoughts and mind sticking to them quite a lot, the mind cannot get settled.
ඔව් ඒතකොට මේ කාමච්ඡන්දේ යටපත් වෙනවා සිතේ අඩු වෙනවා ටික ටික.
So then anyway this is things to do with the sensual desire kamachanda. So then this kamachanda, this liking for the sensual things starts reducing.
ටික ටික සද්දා වැඩෙනවා.
And with that also the saddha, faith or confidence, first of the spiritual faculties, Hindrances, starts growing.
ඔව් දැන් අපි බලන්න ඕනේ අපේ මේ ඒකට කියනවා වනාසිතිවිසේ නැත්නම් දරදන් කප්ප කියලා අපි කියන්නේ නේද? ඒව අඩුද වැඩිද කියලා භාවනා කරනකොට.
So there is something called something like fleeting thoughts, or I don't know how to call it, something like that. So we can like consider for ourselves, are the fleeting thoughts now decreasing or not, or how?
ඒවා ඉතින් තියෙනවා නම්
That is for somebody that is trying to practice.
ඔව් ඒවා නිතර එනවා නම්
Oh,
ඉතින් ඒක දියුණුවක් නැහැ. සද්දා වැඩෙන්නේ.
so if you realize no, there is no reduction, they are all they are all the time there. So that means no development has taken place, and probably also the confidence is actually missing.
ඔව් ඉතින් කාමච්ඡන්දේ ක්‍රමානුකූලව සිතේ එන්න අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ.
So what needs to happen is for this liking for sensual things needs to decrease, and that means it needs to start arising less and less.
ඔව් මේ පැත්තේ ඉන්දිය ධර්ම වැඩෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට සද්දා වැඩෙන්න. සද්දා කියන කාමච්ඡන්දේ පල්ලයට යනවා.
So together with, so it is I think what Lukas trying to say is always when you are really practicing, the things on the left, the hindrances should be little by little reducing, and the things on the right, those are the spiritual faculties, are gradually developing and getting more and stronger. So in the case of the sensual desire, it is the sensual desire or liking for sensual things that should be decreasing, and this kind of corresponding part on the factor on the right side of the spiritual faculties is the faith or confidence, saddha, that should be little by little growing in the practice. Second one of the second factor. So second pair is on the left of the bad guys is Vyapada, translated usually as ill will, and on the right side the spiritual faculties is virya, or energy or mental effort.
දැන් ව්‍යාපාද කියන එක මේ වෙන තේවන් නැතේවා කියන එක දැන් අපිට ඊට වැඩි අඩුයි.
So normally the ill will, the most coarse definition is may they disappear and be destroyed or die. The ill will is strong like that. So in our case, or in the practitioner's case, it is usually not as strong as that. So in our case, it's the level of the ill will is on the level which we may call, let's say, dislike, or maybe a little bit of irritation.
ඔව්. දැන් ඒකට ඒක මේ ව්‍යාපාරික කියනකොට මේ ගැටීමක් තියෙනවා.
So, but the common factor is this really hateful thing or just like disliking thing is a kind of conflict or being in conflict or there is like friction with the objects.
ඕකේ තියෙන ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වය මිනිස් තත්ත්වය එහෙම නැත්නම් තත්ත්ව ගතිය.
And Lokam says it's a common denominator of beings or humans or actually not just humans of really living beings is this getting in conflict with things and objects
දැන් අපි
and other beings.
වැඩියම අපි එකට ඉන්නකොට කවුරු හරි එක්ක ගැටෙනවා.
So almost always if you stay in a group of people you are in conflict with at least somebody. Someone.
බලන්න ඕනේ ගැටෙන්නේ මොනවා නිසාද? ඇයි මොකක් නිසාද ඒක වෙන්නේ?
So let's have a look at it. Why is there this kind of dislike or conflict? What is the conflict with? How is it happening?
ඒක අපි ආපස්සු බැලලා ප්‍රතිඋත්තර කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ.
So Lokam says we need to
ව්‍යාපාරය හට ගන්න ඇති.
With the ill will or this dislike, we need to kind of reflect on it, try to like go back, where did it start, where did it come from?
So ව්‍යාපාරේ මේ අඩුවෙන්ද වීර්යය වැඩි වෙනවා. වීර්යය කියලා කියන්නේ සම්මා වායාම හතර කියන්නේ.
So here the virya is considered all the rightful effort, that is avoiding unarisen unwholesomeness, abandoning arisen unwholesomeness, making the unarisen wholesomeness arise and developing and protecting the arisen wholesomeness. So all four are there within the spiritual faculty of virya or energy. I don't know if I said it, but so Lokam also said like with the sensual desire and confidence, same applies with ill will and energy, and that is as the ill will should be little by little decreasing and the energy aspect little by little growing.
මේවා මානසික රෝග සිටි. මේ මානසික රෝග වැඩි අය ඉන්නවා. අඩු අය ඉන්නවා.
It's like a mental sickness really, and then there are people that are more mentally sick and then there are people that are less mentally sick.
ඔව් ඉතින් අරගන්න පුළුවන් නේ.
And it is a sickness that can be cured.
ඔව් ඒකට මේ අරගන්න මේ කියනෝනේ ඉතින් අපිට මේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කරුණ ටිකක් කියදී. So
that is what the Buddha was telling us about, is really about removing this mental sickness.
Oh.
So there is one sutta who comes trying to pinpoint it.
දැන් වීර්යය නැති කරගන්න, වීර්යය වැඩි කරගන්න නැති වෙන්න ඕනේ මොකද? ව්‍යාපාරය.
So these corresponding qualities are ill will and energy or effort.
ඔව් කාමච්ඡන්දේ ව්‍යාපාරය දෙක එකට තියෙනවා. එක කරන්නේ. කාමච්ඡන්දේ තියෙන තරමට ව්‍යාපාරෙත් තියෙනවා.
And Lokam says like the first two hindrances, they are like a couple. So Lokam says it's like something like this. To the extent that there is sensual liking for sensual things, to that extent there is the ill will. Or if you look at it from the other side, as the liking for sensual things is little by little decreasing, also the ill will is decreasing.
මේ තීන මිද්දයයි කියලා කියන්නේ මේ සිතේ හැකිලිම.
So,
චෛත්‍ය කියන්නේ හැකිලිම.
so Thinamidha, translated usually as sloth and torpor occurrences, is a kind of, it's like contraction of mind and contraction of mind concomitant.
ඉතින් මේක අකුසලයක් තමයි.
It is
තීන මිද්දේ.
so the Thinamidha, or I prefer not sloth and torpor, but inertness and laziness is really like tanikara akusala.
තනිකර
It's
අකුසල.
like pure unwholesomeness, really.
කාමච්ඡන්ද ව්‍යාපාද වැඩියෙන් තියෙනවා නම්
Mm.
තීන මිද්දෙත් වැඩි.
And also, if the liking for sensuality and ill will are more and more, also this inertness and laziness is more and more.
කුසලයේ ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා.
It is the quality of mind which is rejecting wholesomeness.
සතිය කියන්නේ ඉහළම කුසලයක්.
And then the corresponding good quality of the spiritual faculties is sati. Normally they translate this mindfulness. I don't translate. Okay, so it is, and sati lokam says it's like pure wholesomeness.
ඒක ඇලෙන්නේ නැති, ගැටෙන්නේ නැති ගතිය.
It's the quality that keeps the mind from holding on to and conflicting.
ඇලුනොත්
Hmm.
කාමච්ඡන්දේනවා, ගැටුනොත් ව්‍යාපාදේනවා.
So if there is,
තීන මිද්දේ
if
බහුලයි.
if there is holding on to, that means liking for sensuality. If there is conflicting, that is the conflicting friction is vyapada, ill will. And the quality that increases both of those is this laziness and like sloth and torpor, or the laziness and inertness.
එතකොට තීන මිද්දේ මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? කුසලේ නැති කරනවා.
So what, in other words, what the inertness and laziness is doing is kind of, let's say, destroying the wholesomeness.
ඔයගොල්ලෝ තීන මිද්දේ කියන්නේ කුබ්බෙන්ද පණ නැහැ.
So many people that have heard about this sloth and torpor and some explanation about meditation, they think that this inertness and laziness is when your head starts drooping.
වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
It can be-
කුසලයේ අයින් වෙලානේ.
It can be that when some meditators' head is like drooping, that the sloth and torpor is active, because it might be the case that the meditator's mind now is removed from the wholesomeness, but it's not necessarily that every time the head is drooping that the removal from wholesomeness is there.
ඉතින් දැන් ඉතින් මේ ඔක්කොම අතහැරලා ගන්න. කුසල ටික අතහැරලා.
So or once again, this inertness and laziness is like you give up all the wholesomeness, abandon all the wholesomeness.
ඉතින් සතිය හැදෙන්නේ.
So in that case, there is no way sati would arise.
තීන මිද්දේ අඩුවෙන්න සතිය වැඩෙනවා.
Also, the opposite is the truth. So if it's the case that the inertness and laziness is little by little decreasing, also sati starts arising more and more.
කාමච්ඡන්දය ව්‍යාපාදේ තීන මිද්දේ හොඳට තියෙනවා නම් මේ උද්දච්ච කුක්කුච්ච තියෙනවා හොඳට.
If the first three of the hindrances are there quite a lot, also the third hindrance, that is the hindrance of restlessness and worry, is there.
උද්දච්ච කුක්කුච්ච කියලා කියන්නේ හිතේ තියෙන විපිලිසාරය.
So the quality of restlessness is restlessness or disperseness of mind. This not staying in one place.
උද්දච්චය මුලක් මේ තියෙන මේ තරුණයට.
So it's mostly the younger generations that have the first part, that is the restlessness.
වයසකයට කුක්කුච්චිය වැඩි.
With the people that are older, it is more of the second part, that is the worry or remorse.
දෙකම තියෙනවා. ඒ වුණාට අර වැඩි අඩු වැඩි ගතිය කිව්වේ.
So, but both of them are usually there, but the kind of normally the first part is there more with the younger people, and the second part is there more with the older people.
ඔය තරුණ කාලේ ගුණධර්ම ඕනේ නැහැ නේ කෙනෙකුට.
So many younger people, they have no use for these good wholesome qualities.
ඔව්. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නවා වැඩන්නේ. පස්සේ පුළුවන්.
I hear that. So,
ඔව් වැඩන්නේ. පස්සේ පුළුවන්.
so they might say, if you try to explain something, they say, I don't care about this. You can tell me about this later and things like that.
කලාතුරකින් තමයි තරුණ කාලේ කුසල් කරන්නේ.
It is very rarely that you do wholesomeness when you are young. Really.
බලන්න ඔය පන්සල් වල ඉන්නේ වයසකයනේ.
So even if you are a pansal විතර නෙවෙයි අපිට
ඔව් ඉන්නේ වයසකයන්. මොකද ලබනාත්මේ සකස් කරගන්න.
So if you consider the temples, it's mostly like not young people there, and it's not only here, it's like there even with other religions. So Lokam also had another observation, because the more you are growing old and getting closer to your death, the more you get interested in preparing a good next life. So,
හොඳ සිතිවිලි තියෙන වයසකය හොයාගන්න හරි අමාරුයි.
then also comes as with people that are a bit old, or it's difficult to find good qualities in them.
දැන් මට කිව්වේ අම්මා වයසක කියන තරුණයා ඉන්නේ. හරි හොඳ යතුරු කරන්න ඉතින් කතා කරන්නත් හිතෙනවා.
So Lokam says, like Venerable Dhammarakita's mother, she's like 90. How much?
ඔව් 90යි. එයා හැමදාම 90 කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. 88යි 89යි එහෙම තමයි ගණන් හදන්නේ. පල්ලෑ මට්ටමේ හදන්නේ.
So anyway, ඒක කියන්න අවශ්‍යයි.
ඕනේ
නෑ ඉතින් බොරු කියනවා.
ඔව්.
So anyway, so she has like young mind. So as a result, she's doing all kind of things, and she's proactive, and it's very easy to associate her with her, because her mind is kind of young mind.
ඔව් දැන් දැසිල්ලන කතා.
ආයිද?
ඔව් දැන් නෑ ලබනාත්මෙට.
So she was ordained some time ago temporarily. So Lokam says now she again talks about ordination. So I ask again, and Lokam says, yeah, for the next life.
මේ ආත්මෙ දැසිල් ගන්නවන කවුරු හරි කැමතියි.
But she has the idea, if she gets ordained by somebody even in this life.
ඒක තමයි දැන් ලෝකෙදි තියෙන්නේ. හරි ජාතියි.
So that's, she mostly thinks about those things, which you can see how much good that is.
ඔව් අර තියෙන හොඳ ගතියකින් ජීවත් වෙනවා මේ කායිකවත් තරහ වෙන්නේ රණ්ඩු වෙන්නේ.
So she has these good qualities, or good kind of mood, and she lives her life that way. So she's not getting angry or in conflict with people, and is cheerful and so on.
ඉතින් අර ඒ වයසට ගියයි හරි අමාරු ඇදුරු කරන්න.
But the people that have really grown old, they are very difficult, and associating with them is difficult also.
හරි ලේසි මේගොල්ලෝ අතුරු ගන්න. අම්මා වගේ.
But මොකද අර අම්මාගේ හිත ටිකක් තරුණයි වගේ.
ඔව් තරුණයි අර ඉන්නේ මේ ගුණධර්ම ලොකු ගුණධර්ම පැතිවල.
So now, but people like Venerable Dhammarakita's mother that have already developed some good qualities, then they are still very much okay, and it's easy to associate them and so on. But Lokam says it's not it's normally not like that with elderly people.
මගේ ලොකු අක්කා.
So also Lokam's eldest sister, when she was still alive, she was like that.
96.
That means like Venerable Damarki's mother. So the sister died when she was 96.
ඉතින් දැන් මේ එයාම ඉතින් ඉන්ජෙක්ෂන් දාගන්නේ මලේ නැත්තම් හොඳට තව ඉන්නවා.
In her case, it seems that it was the vaccination that was the kind of cause behind her death. So Lokam says if they did not make her take the vaccination, she might have been still alive.
ඔව්. ඒක තමයි ඕනට වැඩියෙත් හොඳ නෑ දැනගන්න. අර අරුවමෙල. දැන් ඒකනේ යාම ඉන්ජෙක්ෂන් ගෙන්නක යාම ගියේ ගලවත් අරගෙන ගහගෙන පන්ද ලෙඩ වෙලා මේ මොලේ පිළිකට මැල්ලා ගියා. දැන් බලන්න දැන් මේක ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා දවස් දෙකකට ඉස්සෙල්ලා මට ගේ ගන්නවා. ඇවිදිනවා කියලා. මට තර වෙනවා. ඇවිදිනවා කියලා මම ඇවිදිනවා කියලා ඒක අර ගියක් හැදුවානේ. ඒ ගිය හදනන්ද ඔක දැනගන්න. එහෙම යනවා කියලා. ඉතින් කාද දෙද බෝවේ කියලා මොනවද?
ඒකයි.
කොයි.
So 2 days before her vaccination, she scolded Lokuhamuduru because he went there to see her for some reason or another, and that was still the COVID time, like when it was more. So she scolded him, saying probably like, this is a small thing, it's unnecessary. If you come here and there, you might get you sick yourself or something. So she was engaged mostly in things to do with the local temple and things like that, and alms giving, helping people. She was like involved in repairing of the local temple there. She was still very much like her brain was working very properly. She was not forgetful at all, and she could think quite clearly. She had also Tripitaka knowledge.
මහාවංශ 74 වෙනි පිටේ තියනවලු කවුද රජුගේ මේ පනවපු නීති මාලාවක් මොකක්ද ඔන්නෝ මේක 74 වෙනි පිටේ ඉතින් මම දන්නේ නැහැ නේද ධම්මසිත කියලා වටාන්නේ මම දන්නේ නැහැ ඉතින් මම ඉතින් මගේ අනිකයි කියලා මට වදෙන්නේ නැහැ
Anyway, so she was studying these like books and asking Lokuhamuduru kind of questions and so on. I just simplified the whole story because otherwise it gets too complicated. Oh, Mata Hindunayaka Mata. No, okay, so anyway, the book she was reading is one of the old chronicles, Sri Lankan chronicles called Mahavansa. She was asking, this page something was doing something or not. So Lokam thought if I tell her I have no use for this Mahavansa, she might get upset. So it's better just to say I don't know. So then he had to ask, Lokam had to ask Damarakita Amuduru to give her the answer.
දමරකිත කියන ඔන්න එයාත් එක්ක නම් කතා කරා මට දැනෙන මාන්දිකයි දැන් ඉතින් බලන්න දැන් මේ මොකද්ද මේ රජුණගේ නමත් මතක නෑ දමරකිත මේ හැදී කවුද මේ
දමරකිත ආමුදුර නෑ
කේත දාක් තැන්පත්
මන්ට ඒක අතාරින්න
නෑ කේත දාක් තැන්පත්
නෑ දමරකිත ආමුදුර නෑ
නැද්ද
නෑ
ඕනේ ඉතින් රජුලා පස්සේ මතක් වෙනවා දැන් වගේ ඉතින් ඒකට මේ මොනවා හරි ඔය කාමච්චන් මොකද්ද
උද්දච්ච
කුක්කුච්චය කියලා කියන්නේ පසුතැවිලි වෙන එක.
So this kukucha, this
පුළුවන් කාලේ කුසල් කරන්නේ දැන්
the
කරගන්න.
second part of this hindrance is translated as remorse sometimes, and that is kind of good translation. And it's like the literal translation in Sinhala is like you are burning or torturing yourself because of things that have already happened. So this is like I didn't do it properly, or things I should have been doing I was not doing, and these kind of ideas.
එහෙම ගන්නෑ.
So
උද්දච්ච කුක්කුච්ච.
so now it's a hindrance. So ideally these things should reduce and not be there.
මේ උද්දච්ච කුක්කුච්ච දෙක අඩු නම් මේ සමාධි වැඩි.
So if this restlessness and remorse is reduced or like not present too much, then the samadhi or concentration or recollectedness of mind starts arising more and more.
ඔව්. ඉතින් අර උද්දච්ච කුක්කුච්ච තියෙන අය ඉන්නව නේද? ඒක ඇසුරු කරන්න හරි අමාරුයි බයයි.
So there are people that have kind of active, quite active restlessness and remorse. So Lokamsa's associating with them is kind of frightening and maybe dangerous.
ඔව්. කොයි වෙලාවෙ පත් වෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ.
Lokam says because you never know at what point they are going to blast.
ඔව්. පුපුරනකොට කාලයක පාට.
Because
ඒ නිසා
Lokam says they kind
බොහොම
of,
ඈත් වෙලා ඇසුරු කරන්න ඕනේ.
they kind of they can blast any time. The proper you associate them from distance.
මොකද අර තුනෙන්මනේ ගැදියති එකතු වෙලා.
So because Lokamdo says it's like the previous three hindrances like come together and for the fourth one, so like they have the whole bunch there really.
ඔව්. එතකොට මේ සමාධිය ඒකේ විචිකිච්ඡාව තියෙනවා පත් වෙන්නේ.
So the last one is the hindrance of doubt, sometimes called skeptical doubt.
විචිකිච්ඡාව මේ හරිම දරුණුයි බුද්ධ ආදී අටතන ගැන සැකයි.
So it's one of the really nasty one here, and it is the kind of specific kind of doubting or uncertainty.
ඔව්.
Doubting.
නිවන හතරම එකව එකතු වෙලා හැදිච්ච නිසා තමයි මේ විචිකිච්ඡාව.
Lokam says it's if this last hindrance is quite strong, that means the all other four have combined together, and that makes it strong.
විචිකිච්ඡාව මේ හුඟක් අඩු නම් පඤ්ඤා හුඟක් වැඩි.
And also then the corresponding qualities panya.
ඔව්. කිඹුන් හරි.
So panya or wisdom or experiential understanding, as the doubt, if the doubt is reduced quite a lot, then the wisdom is arising more and more.
ඔව්. දැන් මේ පඤ්ඤාව නැති කරන එකක් තමයි විචිකිච්ඡාව.
It works the other way around also. The thing that destroys and undermines wisdom, panya, is doubt.
ඔව් වෙන දහමක් හොයනවා.
So you go to search like for some other teachings.
ඔව් බුද්ධි කාංකති.
So here the specific doubts that are like it's not every kind of doubt that is considered here. So the doubts that are considered here is like a number 6, 7 or 8 of them depending on the list. The first is doubting the Buddha. ඒ කියන්නේ බෝධිය. තථාගතයන්ගේ බෝධිය තමයි.
බෝධිය නේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියලා කෙනෙක් කිව්වා ඇත්තද ඔය විදිහේ
ඒක තමයි අර බෝධිය නේද?
ඔව් බෝධියත් හරි.
So anyway, so it's the doubt. Like, was there really a Buddha? What he was saying, is it a real thing? So it doubts connected with the Buddha.
මේ විදිහේ පුද්ගලෙක් ඇත්තටම ලෝකේ හිටියද?
Was there really somebody like that living in this world?
ඔව්. කොහොම කිව්වත් ඉතින් සැක තියෙනවා.
No matter which way you take it, there's like a doubt in some kind of doubt in connection with the Buddha himself.
බාවාලි තවුලා මේ තමුන්ගේ ගෝලෙන්ට කිව්වා මෙහෙම හොයාගෙන යන්න කියලා.
So there was this kind of spiritual teacher living in kind of western part of India, and he heard that there was this ascetic Gautama that was supposed to be the Buddha, and because from the like ancient kind of scriptures they knew what the qualities a person like that should have. So because this person, spiritual teacher, was already old, he sent his own disciples to go and check the specific things that a fully realized person should have.
මේ වගේ ලක්ෂණ තියෙනවා ඒ පුද්ගලයාගේ ශරීර ලක්ෂණ මේ විදියයි කියලා කිව්වා.
ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න හිතින්.
හිතින් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න කිව්වා.
So he gave the students like specific instructions, including this: when you come, don't ask and don't tell him what is the reason for coming. Ask in your mind. Say that in your mind. And other thing was, they have studied this kind of like science or like special branch of knowledge, which if you like study properly, you can identify from the bodily things what the character of that person is. So they had like a list of very specific qualities that this great person should have. So he told them check especially these two qualities because they are difficult to recognize like outright.
ඉතින් බාවාලිතාවුදා ගැන හිත මෙයා ගුරුවරයා ගැන. එතකොට බාවාලිතාවුදා කියන මෙහෙමයි අවුරුදු 120ක් වයසයි. ඔයා අහන්නේ ඔයාගේ ගුරුවරයා ගැන බාවාලිතාව. දැන් බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කිව්වා මෙහෙමයි.
So then when they came to see the Buddha, he said, you are coming from this, your teacher is now 120 years old and he cannot come himself, and he wanted to check these things, and that's why you came. So everything that they were thinking and not saying, he told them.
බ්‍රාහ්මණ ධර්ම වල ඉතින් මේ ගුණ ධර්ම තියෙනවා කියලා ඉතින් කිව්වා. මේව ගෝලයෝ ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා. ආවල් පැත්තේ ජීවත් වෙනවා. ඉතින් හරි. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි ඉතින් දැන් බණ අහන්න පටන් ගත්තේ. දැන් කුකුස් ඉවරයි.
අර දෙක පෙන්නුනානේ.
ඔව්.
ඒක කියන්නේ.
ඕනේ නෑ.
Anyway, so part of the thinking was, because when they saw the Buddha, they could immediately recognize all these signs except for the two that are not really visible. So they saw these things we cannot see. So the Buddha revealed to them these two things because they were thinking about those two. And then they started giving the Buddha like very deep Dhamma questions, and they got their answers. So there was another Brahmin called Sela that had the same kind of knowledge, this kind of science or special branch of knowledge that has to do with the like bodily science.
එතකොට තේර බ්‍රාහ්මණ ආව මේ කවුද දානයක් දෙනවා නවත් මන්ත්‍රණය පදමතේ බ්‍රාහ්මණ දානයක් දෙනවා. ඉතින් දා ලස්සන කේනේ ජටිල බුදුහාමුදුරන් දානයක් හදනවා.
So there was this Jatila, there was this like top-notch ascetic called Kenya, no? Kenya, and he was preparing like food and drinks for the Buddha and monks. So then this Brahmin Sela that has this knowledge about these bodily signs came along and asked, What is happening here is there going to be some big sacrifice or somebody's wedding or somebody's engagement, or what is the celebration happening here, something like that. So then this Kenya told this Brahmin, no, it's not like that. So there is an incomparable person, leader of the humans and the gods living in the world now.
Buddha.
He is a Buddha, the awakened one. And he is invited to come, and we are preparing a meal for that.
දැන් බලන්නකො බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ පැහැදිච්ච ජටිලව ඉන්නවනේ.
So Lokam says, from this story there is a kind of diversion a little bit, because the Jatila was really top-notch ascetic. Top-notch they look a little bit like this, like Rastafarians. They have these dreaded beards and dreaded hair which they have on the top of their head. So these days we don't get the real Jatilas that were there in the Buddha's time, but from this story we see this top-notch ascetic preparing some alms for the Buddha and his disciples.
දැන් බලන්න එහෙම මේ ජටිලලා මේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ අර කවුද මේ පාල මධ්‍යම දීගනිකයි පළවෙනි සූත්‍රය.
So then there was this Maya Paribrajaka. Then there were these wandering spiritual seekers. So in the first sutta of Diga Nikaya, you have a student and a master, and they go behind the Buddha, the Buddha with a big group of monks is going somewhere. And behind them goes this teacher and student that are called Paribhajakas, or these spiritual seekers. And then the teacher is scolding the Buddha, and the student is telling the teacher, don't say this, don't say this. Actually, this ascetic Gautama is actually a kind of amazing person. So it's kind of funny situation, because the teacher is scolding somebody, criticizing, and the student is telling him don't do that because that person is. So that is now in the ancient India there were different groups of spiritual practitioners. So Jatilas were this top-notch it's usually translated as top-notch ascetics. So it was one group. And the Paribhajaka or wanderers, they are called wanderers in the English translations. It was another kind of group, but both of them were kind of spiritual practitioners or seekers.
Oh, then I don't have Paribhajaka. In Paribhajaka, me Janusoni Deka. So Janusoni Dekala, me පරිබ්‍රාජකයන් අහනවා මොකද්ද කියලා. මම ආදිත්‍ය මොකදනේ පරිබ්‍රාජක බුදු ගුණ කියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ කොහෙද ඉන්නේ කියලා අහනවා. මේ උතුරු මේ පැත්තේ ඒතෝනේ මේ පළාත කියනවා. මේ ඒතකොට ජානුසෝනි යක්තිය පාත් කරනවා. යාගේ යක්තිය මේ මරයන දන්ද ඒක පාත් කරනවා. ඒකට මේ කියනවා ඉද්‍රසම ගලවනවා. ඉතින් ඒ කියන්නේ උතුම්ම මේ ගෞරවය කරනවා. ඒ කොහෙද ඉන්නේ කියලා. ජානුසෝනි
මත එච්චර
ජානුසෝනි දැන් ඔය මේ හාමුදුරු දැක්කාම ජනරල් නැහැම තොප්පිය ගලවගෙන ආපහු තියලා දාගන්නවා. යක්තිය පාත් කරනවා. ඒ වගේ එකක් ඒ කියන්නේ.
ඒ සංස්කෘතික කතාව.
සංස්කෘතික.
So
කෙනෙකුට ඔළුව පාත් කරන්නේ නැහැ.
So this Janusoni was kind of May they call Adambar Kani?
Adambar, Adambar Brahman.
So the Janusoni was kind of very prideful Brahmin. So he used to walk with a stick and wear something like a hat to get you some good idea. So he met this one of these wanderers, and the wanderer told him about the Buddha. There is this ascetic called Gautama of these amazing qualities. So when the Janusoni heard about that, he actually removed his hat and put down his stick, which was those days considered as the very showing the highest kind of respect to somebody.
Then Janusoni, agata budu haram then he was me then Vichigicha Natwenda Panya ready.
So once again this is so this was when we were talking about doubt. So when doubt is decreasing, wisdom should be increasing, and the other way around. So that so even if we leave out the Buddha out of the picture of doubting, so then you the doubt about Dhamma is even like more strong with some people. So is this the real true thing or not, and so
on. Then Hamduriano Peda Padiano. Aramokono Dekala Pelaka Harriet that doubting Atarin.
So then Lokam says these days, I don't know if I understood correctly, but so I think what Lokam was saying was these days some people that are formally thinking about themselves as Buddhists, so if they see like monks going for strikes and walkouts and demonstrations, they lose the faith and abandon the triple gem as their refuge. So comes as somebody that has the proper faith will never do that.
Oh, then I'm the bigger part
So because some monks are engaged in the politics. Although they join in these demonstrations and big political meetings and things like that. So then some people seeing that they lose the confidence in the triple gem, in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and basically they stop being Buddhist.
Buddha Dhamma nainone then api wagi api parampara wali nen Ahmad Buddha agame
mau කියන
තාත්තත් බුද්ධ ආගමේ
එච්චර පිළිගන්නේ
නෑ මිනිස්සු එහෙම නෙමෙයි
කියනවා
කියනවා
so
ඕගොල්ලෝ බුද්ධ ආගමට එනවා ලොකු වෙලා අහලා
so Lokam says there are what people call born Buddhists, okay, even though it's kind of so born Buddhist means you are born in a Buddhist country and your parents give you the Buddhism as from your small age. So Lokam says the born Buddhists, when they see that, they start scolding and criticizing the monks, and the people that are not born Buddhists, they give up Buddhism.
Dan ape magawda pangdaiti Dhammapala Didi kumata na naman Antara niganta magada jatil ikuna.
No, because there was this French guy called Didier who was for some time ordained here, staying as a monk, and because of some situation somewhere he got so upset about the monk situation that he disrobed, and that's what Lokam said, and then became kind of like this top-knot ascetic somewhere. So the Lokam saying how the born Buddhists, they are criticizing and scolding the monks doing these things, and people that are not born Buddhists, they might get fed up and give up Buddhism altogether. So now the born Buddhists, one thing the born Buddhists are for the smallest age taught, if you see monk, you go and like bow down and pay respect.
මේකෙන් කියන්න බෑනේ මේ බුද්ධිස්ට් නැද්ද කියලා අපිට කියන්න බෑ. ඉතින් මේ ගත්තාම දෙද්දි ඉතින් ඒකට මේ විචිකිච්ඡාව තියෙනවා ගොඩක්. ඉතින් පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙලා පඤ්ඤාව අඩුයි. ඉතින් පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙන ධර්මතා මේ කෙරෙනකොට පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙනවා. දැන් විනීත මොනවා හරි පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙන වැඩක් කරනවා. විනීතගේ පඤ්ඤාව අඩු නිසානේ කරන්නේ. පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙන වැඩ. ඒකට අර බලාගෙන ඉන්න එකනේ පඤ්ඤාව අඩු වෙනවා.
හරි. So let's say Vinita is doing something stupid which decreases his panya, and this is like Lokam describing the nature of things. So Vinita is doing the stupid things that is decreasing his own panya, his own wisdom, and the onlookers seeing that, when they see that, their own wisdom and panya also starts decreasing. So this is about the situation like the monks going for demonstration, is they're decreasing their own wisdom, but if you get upset or give up the Buddhism altogether, then you yourself decrease your wisdom. So like somebody is doing something stupid that decreases his wisdom, and Lokohamdu scolds that, is scolding or blaming the person.
Scolding
is not good, like denigrating. So if we leave out the word bhavana out of the question, even we can leave out the meditation, we just call it practice. So what the practice is about is really a reduction of the hindrances and development of the spiritual faculties, and making them arise and more and stronger and stronger. So then if that is not happening, so then the practice is kind of wasteful. It's kind of useless, kind of. So, and one needs to see this for oneself. So we cannot give you that experience. What we can give you or explain is the path that you need to go. Or we can like even kind of almost like lead you and put you on the path. But the walking the path is really up to everybody. It's like your own responsibility and cannot be done by anybody else. That should be enough. So many people come here, their idea is they want to do meditation, and then what they have in their mind is they want to calm their mind or get peaceful mind. So like all of you here probably are here to get like peace of mind. So I don't need to give you Dhamma talk. You know, if you want to have calm mind, peaceful mind, you don't need really actually Dhamma talk for that. So this what the Lokamra explained so far, it is about if you want to achieve realization of Nibbana, so those things that Lokam was talking about are for that. But if you just want to have a kind of tranquil, calm mind,
ඒකේ වැරද්දක් තියෙනවා ඒකයි. ඉතින් තැම්පත් කරගත්තත් මොනවා කොලගත්තත් මොනවා මේ ජාති ජරා මරණයන්ගෙන් නිදහස් නැහැ.
So no matter how much you calm your mind, you still don't get freedom from aging, death and disease.
ඔව් ජාති ජරා මරණයන්ගෙන් නිදහස්.
Sorry, birth, death and aging.
ඔව් ඒකට ඒවෙන් නිදහස් වෙන ක්‍රමයක් තමයි හදාගන්න.
But there is a way how to get freedom from those also.
ඔව් මේ බුදුහාමුදුරු බුදු වෙන්නේ ඉතින්ලා හිත තැම්පත් කරගන්න ක්‍රම කිව්ව ඕන තරම් අය.
So before the Buddha's enlightenment, there was any number of available techniques how to get some kind of peacefulness or calmness of mind or of one kind or another.
ඔව් නම් හිත තැම්පත් කරගන්න ඒක මේ යෝග තියෙනවා.
Like the yoga
යෝග ක්‍රම ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්.
So you can learn yoga for that.
ඔව් ඒක ගොඩාක් තැම්පත් වෙනවා.
So with that the mind gets quite calm.
ඔව් බොහොම හොඳයි යෝග.
So the yoga is quite good.
ඉතින් තර්ක විතර්ක කරන.
Or even like this philosophy.
ඔව් ඒකත් හොඳයි.
That is also good.
මේකෙනුත් ඇතැම් වෙලාවට ගොඩාක් තැම්පත් වෙනවා. හැබැයි විතර්ක වැඩි වුණොත් අරගන්නත් බැරි වෙනවා.
So it's like if you have this philosophizing, like thinking about things, some people on some occasions they can get kind of peacefulness, calmness of mind, but the drawback of that method is if the thinking starts getting more, it becomes really unstoppable and excessive.
ලස්සන කතා.
So then there are beautiful stories.
ඒවෙන්නත් හොඳ තැම්පත් වෙනවා.
So if you like listen or watch beautiful stories, you can also get calm mind.
Hypnotism.
Or this hypnotizing and mesmerizing.
ඒවත් හොඳයි.
That also you can get.
හිත තැම්පත් වෙනවා.
They are good in the sense that you can get some calmness of mind.
නිවන පැත්තට හිත නැහැ.
But not
නිවන්නයටපත් කරන එක නැහැ.
So but those mentioned things, they don't do anything for the side of the nibbana, and they don't do anything about decreasing the hindrances. Within those the hindrances are working really well.
නිවන්න හොඳට වැඩෙනවා. ඉන්දිය ධර්ම හොඳටම පල්ලයට යනවා.
And so within those mentioned things, especially the hypnotism, these hindrances are like flourishing, whereas the spiritual faculties are really dying out.
ටිකක් තියෙනවා. ඇතැම් වෙලාවට හොඳ පැත්තට යනවා.
Sometimes like some of these mentioned practices, they can get partially the positive side of okay.
නිවන්න ඉන්දිය ධර්ම වැඩිලා තියෙනවා.
So with some of these mentioned things, sometimes it can happen that the hindrances are somewhat in some way reduced, and the spiritual faculties to some certain extent
ධ්‍යාන වගේ එකක් තියෙනවා.
So then people can get something like absorptions even, but it's a kind of wrong concentration, or imperfect concentration. Like the suttas, then they never use like wrong jhana, but it is the wrong samadhi, the mithya samadhi.
Mithya ditti, mithya sankappa, mithya vacha, mithya kammanta, mithya sati කියන්නේ මම මිත්‍යා සති කියලා කන්නේ නෙවෙයි.
තියෙනවා.
මොට්ට සත්‍ය කියලා කියන්නේ.
අනේ මිත්‍යා සති තියෙනවා පොතේ.
පොතේ තිබුණත් කියන්නේ නැහැ. පොතේ තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. විනිත. මං කියන්නේ මිත්‍යාවයි සත්‍යයි කියලා දෙකක් නැහැ විනිත. ඔව් ඒක ඔයා තේරුම් ගත්තේ නැතත් මම පිළිගන්නේ
නෑ,
පොතේ තිබුණත් පිළිගන්නේ
නෑ මම හිතන්නේ මිච්ඡා සති සතියක් නෙවෙයි. ඕගොල්ලෝ වෙන දෙයක් සතියක් හිතනවා.
ඔව් ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ඒකට මුට්ටා සතිය කියලා කියන්නේ.
So anyway, so
මම පිළිගන්නේ නැහැ. කවුරු කිව්වත් පිළිගන්නේ නැහැ. මිච්ඡා සතිය කියලා. ඒ හදාගත්ත එකකට කියන්න පුළුවන්.
so anyway, so අර මිච්ඡා විමුක්ති මිච්ඡා
ඒ
ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා.
මේ ඔව් මිච්ඡා විමුක්ති මිච්ඡා සමාධි මිච්ඡා විමුක්ති කියලා තියෙනවා. ඒක තේරුම් වැරදි ඒවා.
So then in the suttas, like there is, the Buddha says, if there is, like we have the eightfold noble path and plus the two extra, it's like right liberation and right knowledge of liberation as extra two factors. So on the wrong side, it's like that. So Lokamdu does not want, he does not accept that there is like wrong sati. So there can be something that is not sati, which people think is like that, but there is nothing like wrong sati.
Oh, දැන් මේ මගේ ඔළුව නැති රූපයක් හදලා තියෙනවා නේද? කවුද බිපියන්
Fabian.
ඔය ඉතින් ඔළුව නැතුව තමයි බණ කිව්වේ.
Hey,
ඔළුව නැතුව තමයි කිව්වේ.
then
ඔය දැන්
no, ඒක කියන්නේ කොහොමද?
කියන්නේ ආරිය මොලේ නැතුව ඇඳලා තියෙන්නේ. මං කියන බලන්නේ කොහොම මොලේ නැතුව කියන්නේ. ඒ රූපේ බණ කියන්නේ
No, because Lokamdas was, somebody gave him a picture. That picture is taken from an internet site where the Lokamdas like top of the head is not there. So the picture also is missing the top of the head. So Lokam's like joking. Today Dhamma talk is Dhamma talk without brain.
ඔව් ඒක හොඳයි. ඒක මොලේ නැති බණ කියනවා කියලා. ඒක හොඳටම දන්නවා මේක මොලේ නැති බණ කියන්නේ කියලා.
So Lokam says the knowledgeable people, they know this today was like brainless Dhamma talk.
ඔව් මොලේ භාගය තියෙනවා.
Or maybe
ඒ භාගයෙන් නැතුව
half brain Dhamma talk.
ඔව් දැන් ඇති කරනවා.
Anyway, that should be really enough. May you be protected by the Triple J Manual and happy.
ඔව්